Over the weekend, you said that you believe there will be a vote on Ukraine aid when the House returns. Tell me what fashion you think that will come in. Will it be the Senate bill? I know you have a bill that you're working on with Brian Fitzpatrick, or does the Speaker offer up something different?
Well, prior to going on the Easter recess, I, along with Brian Fitzpatrick, Jared Golden, and a number of my colleagues in a bipartisan way, introduced Defending Borders, Defending Democracies, which would provide $66 billion in lethal aid to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. We have all signed a discharge petition to bring that bill to the floor and have been in touch with the Speaker on several occasions to try and work through and build consensus. There's no question we need to bring a bill to the floor. Iran, China, and Russia are not our allies. They're not our friends. They have engaged in an unholy alliance that has sought to undermine and destabilize the United States and the free world. And we need to support our allies in this time of need. So I am hopeful that the Speaker will bring a bill to the floor. Ideally, it would be one that includes aid for Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan, as well as border provisions, including Title 42 and Remain in Mexico, which is the bill that we have outlined. But we all have to find compromise here. We're in a divided government, and we need to negotiate. The Speaker ultimately is going to be the decider in what legislation comes to the floor. But my hope is that we get a vote on legislation as soon as we get back.
It seems as though that the Speaker's been pretty guarded in his feelings about this, just kind of hinting without specifics about what type of bill he might support. He talked about this possibility of a loan, the idea of leveraging their natural gas reserves. Have you specifically talked to the Speaker about what his plans are for Ukraine? Do you know of anybody else that spoke to the Speaker about it? Or is this not a conversation you'll have until you return next week?
No, there's been lots of conversations over the last few weeks. Obviously, the issue of a loan has come up, as well as the Repo Act, which would use seized Russian assets to help pay for some of the aid to Ukraine, which, in and of itself, I have no qualms about. With respect to energy, look, this is critical. Iran is the greatest state sponsor of terror. Over the last 3 years, Iranian petroleum sales have increased by $88 billion. Certainly, we don't want other countries reliant on Russian or Iranian gas and oil. So that is something from a national security standpoint we do have to deal with realistically. It's why I introduced the SHIP Act, which would implement secondary sanctions on the purchaser of Iranian petroleum, the greatest purchaser of which is China. So this is something that, from a national security standpoint, should be part of the conversation. And so I certainly, appreciate the Speaker's position on that.